and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Andy Hope here. Andy.
Here.
L.E.
Here.
We'll move down to item number 4, general city council comments. The trash office this weekend, coming weekend, and then the next weekend is the metal. Make weather aware. We'll move down to number 5, city manager report.
Thank you, Mary. First, I'd like to announce new hires we had since the last meeting. Charles Green is street equipment operator, and Joseph Cooler is civil construction inspector. Next, I'd like to go through a few project updates. Police station is still on schedule. They have just done the shooting on the outside and have put the roof deck down. Next week, putting paper barrier on this week. And we have electricians out working on different components of the building. Fire station number 1 is also on track. They took the final step for the equipment phase down last week. We're expecting another building, which is the Shell station, to be delivered in August. And we're currently mobilizing materials on site. This is picture here. We expect the police station to open probably in late February. Fire station should follow in a couple months after. The water treatment plant generator project is, generator is on site. I'm just waiting for the natural gas connection so we can put that on board. The wastewater plant improvement project, we do have crews on the contract working on the site now. The revised completion date is scheduled for December 31st. And that project will be doubled as they go as far as the system and for expansion and
Please, can we have more volume?
Yes,
We can hear
please.
anything you're saying.
Thank you.
Next is the food truck park. That is still out, getting ready to go out for bids soon, I would say in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And that park will be located just south of City Hall here on the vacant lot. The park will be called Coweta Commons with the food truck area named the Food Lot. The ODOT Downtown Highway 72 project for Broadway reconstruction was originally scheduled to begin this fall, but they have pushed that to July 28th. They found that there were more extensive drainage improvements needed than they first anticipated. So they're continuing to work on the project design, and we had a meeting with them online last week. They will be reaching out to several different business owners for specific needs that they still need to address. Most of that cost will be borne by ODOT, but the city is planning to add improved street lamps and other enhancements, so that will be included in an upcoming budget cycle. 121st Street Bridge project, we're still working with ONG to try to get a natural gas line relocated. We also discovered this week that one of the property owners who had previously said they were willing to sign away the right-of-way agreement has now asked for additional terms. It's something that we really can't accommodate. They need to have wider access to the property than what's allowed due to a power pole that's in the way. So we'll keep working with them, and we may have to take another route. So unfortunately, that project is still on hold. And that's all I have for tonight.
It does look like we have 2 individuals that wanted to talk about that. Can you talk about that now? This time? We have that right.
We don't have, there's not an item on the agenda, but I assume they can still talk about what's on the city manager report. Judge Kirkley, would you like to come forward, please?
I would. Thank you so much. Well,
Before you start,
we're back here again. Doug Kirkley. I live in Coweta. Been here a while. You guys know that 121st Street Bridge project is in my backyard, literally my front yard. And I've been patient, guys. Now it's time to file a condemnation. I asked you that about maybe 6 months ago. I understood that property owners, were gonna sign the easement. Apparently they didn't sign it. Go ahead.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but that is a different property owner they did sign. Now we have someone on the other side that's resisting. So this is a totally different situation now, unfortunately.
Okay, so what I understand you to say is because the bridge has gotten, there's some destruction on it, let's just put it that way. The skeleton's there, but the other person, when I was here 6 months ago, we were talking about another property owner. Now someone else is saying, hey, we've changed our minds. You didn't get an easement signed at that time when you had an agreement with them. You don't have to answer. I already know you didn't. So my question is this. The utilities, I understand that they're taking some time. I'm going to call my legislator. I'll work on that. I've got other avenues to work on that. But a property owner, I understand you to say you did not want to, or you may have to take other avenues. I don't know how long it's going to take you guys to decide. Either you're going to pay him or try to talk him out of it or file a condemnation. While my neighborhood is being destroyed, literally being destroyed. They drive into my yard. They don't make the turn. Literally, I got pictures of people, utility dump trucks that are lodged into the culverts there. I've got 70, 80, 90-year-old neighbors who have to walk across the street to get their mail, and they can't because there's cars and speeding cars. The chief has told me, because he put a block camera out there for about 3 days and said, there's not enough speeders. I don't know how many you need. One is all I need because animals, kids, people walk there. We don't have sidewalks. We're forgotten. We're literally forgotten. Okay. Let me tell you why I'm so upset. 2022, this city came into the community. That 121st Street Bridge project is a priority to us. We need to pass a 1-cent sales tax. And we stepped up and did it. June 2022, that's 2022, the city issued debt to begin the new police station, fire building, and the road rehabilitation project at 121st. I see a lot of progress on the fire. I see a lot of progress on the police. Fantastic. We need it. I encourage that. Zero on the 121st Street Bridge. There was a flood. Previous city manager went out there, dumped some cement in and called it good. Somebody called you and said, hey, they got semis going over that. So you did some type of engineering project that could only hold a ton. So you closed it down. There are bridges around me, literally. I'm not sure what that street is, but I just drove it not too long ago where they put culverts. There's a gentleman in this room that I know can tell you how to put a bridge down. You call the city, it's not, you don't even have to bid it. They bring into these, I call them culverts, but they set them down and then plow over. If you're going to make a really beautiful project, I'm all for it. But we're never going to get there. I don't know when it'll ever happen. I seriously have no idea. I've been waiting since 2022. Well, no, that 1-lane bridge has been there forever. I've lived there 30 years, guys. But now my patience is worn out. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to do whatever I have to do. I'm a judge. I don't file lawsuits. I don't go to the press, but I am going to, as a citizen, I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm not mad at you. I just don't want you to delay anymore. That's it. You trusted them. I appreciate that. Well, he backed out. Well, now it's time to be strong and say, hey, we have constituents that are waiting on this to get a bridge that needs to be done. I mean, I can't imagine that the businesses around there aren't saying something because we're growing leaps and bounds. And you got a corner at 121st and 51 that's got a light that can't be, it's only halfway used because there's a bridge out about 100 yards from it. Okay, I've said what I can. I had to at least give you
Okay, Alan, Mr. Fraser, quick question. You did not write what topic you wanted to speak on?
You just put agenda items and that's Mr. Frank.
Mr. Fraser, I'm sorry. You did not listen. You can speak in I specifically.
Agenda item.
Did you want to speak on this item?
Are you wanting, so at this point, I don't want to call you up, so I just didn't know if there was an item number or a specific item you'd like to speak on, or multiple items.
Well, it'll be multiple items, I'm sure.
Is this one of them you want to speak on? You're before me, so you can't speak on this one.
Oh, no, go be, I didn't get like this.
Thank you.
I didn't know that was right.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. First off, as we review these items, I did want to point out that as we go through the fire station, police station, Chief Bell, Chief Woodward, I know you're anxiously awaiting the completion of these items. So it has been pointed out time and time again that what progress has been made by this council and leadership. So as you can see here, there is progress being made by this leadership. So congratulations and thank you for progress being made. Not only on these facilities, but also the water treatment that is so often been criticized as no progress being made. In regards to the bridge, the question I have is, we so often have annexed land into the community, adding 600 houses here, 800 houses here. We've done high density homes, and we talked about the challenges of the infrastructure. We made improvements on both ends of our water treatment, but we missed the mark on the interior in between these properties. This also includes our roads and our infrastructure, and this is yet another example of this. So the challenge I have is we're quick to vote yes to increase more and more and more quickly in the name of growth, but yet what are we doing to maintain what we already have? I understand that this has been a challenge, and I understand we do want to do the right thing. I understand that we do want to show grace to a property owner, but what grace is being shown to the property owners around where we annex? What grace is being shown to the strain of the property owners that our water is being strained, our water pressure is being strained, the times that we're without water because our water is being shut off to fix lines are being busted from all the new neighborhoods that are being added onto our water. We have a bridge that's been out, but we're conforming for one property owner, a second property owner, but yet we have how many other property owners that are being affected because the bridge is out? This is just one or two property owners at the expense of an entire community. We have 121st that's out, 131st that's out, 111th that's out, 101st that's out. The list keeps growing, and yet we're quick to add more and more and more annexed lands, more and more neighborhoods, more and more strain on our roads. And yet we have existing projects that we're not maintaining. Again, I understand that this is an instance that's beyond your control. This is an instance that we have talked about. This is an instance that we do want to act in good faith, that we do want to negotiate. But again, for how long? At what expense? We have to weigh the options. And I urge you, again, please consider not only the two property owners that you're considering here, but consider a population, an entire population, more of your constituents beyond just two. Again, I'm not demanding or commanding you what to do. I'm just asking that while you consider these two property owners, please consider the rest of us that are affected by this. Thank you.
All right, moving down to item number 6, presentations. OACP to award Sergeant Charles McCullough an award for the 2026 Small Agency Officer of the Year. Chief Bell.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Whitlock from the Oklahoma Municipal Management. Come up and present the award. Ready, sir?
Chief, don't be too far away here. Good evening. My name is Steve Whitlock, and I'm the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police. And before I get started, I've got some staff members I want to recognize. I got Ms. Ricky Long and Ms. Lacey Carruthers here. Ms. Abby Carruthers, who I'm going to say is kind of our half staff, as well too. We'll be taking some pictures later. We'd also like to congratulate Chief Bell on his recent appointment to the OACP Board of Directors, who joins an outstanding group of law enforcement leaders from across the state. And I look forward to working with him as we continue advancing OACP's mission of promoting excellence in law enforcement through professional development, ethical leadership, technical support, and effective communications. One of the greatest privileges I have in my position is traveling across the state of Oklahoma to recognize the extraordinary men and women who serve in law enforcement. I also have the solemn honor of presenting the Police Cross to officers' families who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, and the Purple Heart to officers who have been injured while protecting the communities they serve. I also had the privilege of recognizing our Police Chiefs of the Year, honoring outstanding leadership, unwavering commitment, and exceptional service to both their communities and the law enforcement profession as a whole. Finally, I have the distinct honor of recognizing our Law Enforcement Officer of the Year, officers who are nominated by their peers and selected by the OACP Awards Committee. These individuals represent the very best of our profession, demonstrating exceptional courage, integrity, professionalism, and dedication to the people they serve in Oklahoma. These awards remind us that beyond every badge is a person who has chosen a life of service, often a great personal sacrifice. It is both a privilege and an honor to recognize these exceptional individuals and celebrate their remarkable accomplishments. The OACP Small Agency Officer of the Year Award recognizes a full-time Oklahoma law enforcement officer serving a community with fewer than 10,000 residents, and who has distinguished themselves through exceptional service, professionalism, and dedication during the previous calendar year. Earlier this year, the OACP held our 50th anniversary conference, and I had the privilege to present the 2026 Small Agency Officer of the Year, the Coweta Police Detective Sergeant John McCullough. Although Sergeant McCullough had already been recognized by his peers at our statewide conference, I believe it is equally important to recognize our award recipients in their own communities. Their hometowns should have the opportunity to celebrate dedication, professionalism, and selfless service these officers provide every day. Community recognition not only honors the individual officers, but also highlights the high standards of professionalism that exist throughout Oklahoma. On January 6, 2025, while returning to Coweta after assisting another agency with the execution of a search warrant, Sergeant McCullough noticed what appeared to be vehicle lights in a field near Interstate 40. Believing a vehicle may have left the roadway, he immediately stopped to investigate. After making his way down the steep embankment, he discovered an overturned vehicle approximately 80 yards from the highway. As he approached, he heard a woman calling for help and the continuous sound of a vehicle's horn. Upon reaching the victim, Sergeant McCullough learned that she believed she had a broken leg. He quickly assessed the situation and recognized the significant dangers surrounding the crash scene. The vehicle was unstable, gasoline fumes were present, and the potential fire or further injury was substantial. Despite those hazards, Sergeant McCullough safely extricated the woman and the vehicle and moved her to safety. Had it not been for these actions, there's a possibility this woman may not survive. His courage, professionalism, sound judgment, and dedication to duty exemplifies the highest traditions of Oklahoma law enforcement and embodies the values the Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police strives to recognize. It is therefore my great privilege and honor to once again recognize Detective Sergeant Chuck McCullough as the recipient of 2026 Oklahoma Association Chiefs of Police Small Agency Officer of the Year. Sergeant McCullough, thank you for your service, your professionalism, and your unwavering commitment to the citizens of the state of Oklahoma and the citizens of this town that I call home. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Detective Sergeant Chuck McCullough on his well-deserved honor. Thank
modifications, public hearing on the CDBG project 195084 closeout. Public hearing to receive comments on the performance of the city of Coweta, Oklahoma in regard to Community Development Block Grant Funds 19508 CDBG 24 received by the city to make modifications to the Skyview Water Tower in the city of Coweta. Oh, make a motion to go into public hearing, sorry.
Sorry.
Council, invite Scott Parker to the podium to talk about the project a little bit.
Sorry. Scott Harding with the Eastern Oklahoma Development District is the entity that helped us with this grant project. And the purpose of this hearing is to just receive comments from the public related to the project, or any concerns or anything that you would like addressed before we close the project out. Do you have anything to add, Scott?
Not a lot. Again, my name is Scott Harding. I'm the Executive Director at Eastern Oklahoma Development District with the local council of governments that administered this particular CDBG grant. To my knowledge, the project, it was a rehab project on the water tower. I don't have extensive knowledge of the project. I was part of the responsible for submitting the application, but we had another staff person that did most of the administration for this grant. She would have been here tonight, but was unable due to a personal issue that came up last minute. But I do know it's a rehab project. The work is complete. I touched base with her earlier this afternoon. All the funds have been expended. To my knowledge, there were no issues. I don't think we had to get any kind of contract modifications or anything like that. And the public hearing is required. The funding for this came through HUD, through the Department of Commerce at the state level. And this is just one of the requirements. We had the same hearing, I believe, at the very beginning of the project, when there was a resolution and there's several items that you have to go through. And then this is the second and final public hearing. Happy to answer any questions that I can, or take any comments.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on this?
Joe, you have stormwater here, is this what you're wanting to?
No, actually, I was gonna ask, what are some of the benefits that we're gonna see, or the quality of water, is it gonna go up?
I would say yes. At the time, like I said, I haven't been directly involved with the project during the administration, but at the time I know there was a notice, I believe, the issue was that, like, basically, the way I understand it, I'm gonna speak out in layman terms, I'm not an engineer or anything, but essentially I was told that if the project wasn't completed soon, there could be a catastrophic failure. That's was my understanding, and so they did, from what I gather, and I apologize, I don't remember the exact funding amount total, but they did a complete kind of a rehab or what I'd say remodel on the water tower. Top to bottom, inside and out, from what I understand.
I
I
could
believe even some piping and things like that around the water tower.
I could probably answer a little bit more on that. That actually had a flash mixing system installed on the inside to help with the DBPs. So it'll continuously keep fresh water in it, whereas previously it was just stagnant at the bottom. So we'll keep now getting fresh water at all times.
Like the watering?
Exactly, yes, sir, that's correct. So that'll help us with DBPs throughout the system.
Any other questions?
I will say there is a sign-in sheet. I don't know if it got passed around. I know there's one right here. I can collect those later if that's all right. But if you guys wouldn't mind helping me out with signing that. And again, it's just kind of a routine step for HUD funding for this kind of project. So appreciate the time.
Yeah, so if everyone could sign the public hearing sheet for Scott, that would be very much appreciated before you leave tonight. Thank you.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Danny Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Don B,
Yes.
So So we will be moving into consent items. It does look like Josh, you had a question or a comment on item number 4, consent item. Would you like to come forward?
Do I have to read that? You want to read that one first?
No, we've already, these were done. These were consent items, so I can read it.
Yeah.
So this is what we talked about last time. Renewal of professional services agreement with Crossroads Communication LLC for the public relations consulting at the cost of $50,000 and direction of the city manager to execute all necessary documents.
All right, so the question I have on this is, in considering this, I'm not sure the public may agree with me that the public relations has been questionable at best, to say the least. I would say there hasn't been a lot, and really even for you guys, I would question that you guys have not even been painted in the best of light either. So I would almost want to encourage that the council would consider options. I mean, even Mr. Veith has a background in this area, could potentially propose options to consider in-house, to bring that here. I would think that we could have better results in-house. To do that, if we look at the going rate of even an assistant PR director, you could get a halfway decent one for, say, $35,000 to $50,000 that could report to the city manager, that could do that. And even with the challenges and overwhelming load that our city staff has faced, I think they could potentially even help with that burden as well, reporting back to the city manager that could offload some of that work. And I think could not only paint the city in a better light, but also even you guys in a much better light. So I would think maybe we could potentially consider a competitive bidding offer against that to maybe help improve our relations, not only of our town, but you guys as well. And I don't know, I'd just like to ask the council maybe consider, before we vote on that $50,000 of our tax dollars, that we look at alternatives to improve how our city is viewed in public eye. Thank you.
Are you going for item of consent?
I just wanted to, this, on the same topic that Josh was speaking on, I just want to present the idea that where it comes to public relations, for Pete's sake, just save yourselves and the town a whole lot of money and don't renew a contract this year. That's all I can say.
Public relations has been a disaster.
Amen.
There's unfinished person hiring.
I'm excited to speak about her, not this issue.
I mean, you might agree.
Oh, I agree. It's a waste of your time. No. I agree with you. Wait till the next city manager. Let them decide. Just throw that out there.
Need to make a motion to remove Crossroad Communications professional service agreement from the consent.
Second.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald Lee,
Yes.
Annie Ho,
Yes. And we need to go ahead and make a motion for other items. Make a motion for the remaining consent items.
Second.
Annie Ho,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald Lee,
Yes.
We will move down to item number 9, administration. Oh, 8, sorry, 8. Consider, discuss, and take action on items to be removed from consent. So this is the next consent.
I would just like to table it for until next month, because we haven't had a chance to kind of wrap our head around it.
I'll second that.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Donald D.
Yes.
We have no other items that moving down to item number 9, administration, selection of vice mayor. Discuss and consider action on the selection of vice mayor for the city of Coweta per Title 1, Chapter 7A-2 of the Coweta City Code and Ordinances. Let's see, anybody want to talk about this item? Does anybody have that? I make a motion to select Daniel Beatty as vice mayor.
Second.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald D.
No.
So what does that mean for this? Okay. Congratulations, Ian. All right, we'll move down to item number 2, resolution 2026-31, acceptance of the Skyview Tower modification project, 19508 CDBG 24. Discuss and consider action related to the adoption of resolution 2026-31, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Coweta, Oklahoma, accepting the completion of Skyview Tower modifications project 19508 CDBG 24. Julie?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We just heard from Scott a few minutes ago about on this project. As Edgar pointed out, there was a mixing system added that will improve the water quality. Hopefully. It is 100% complete, and we have required maintenance bond, so we just need for the council to accept the project. If you're interested, here's the after picture. It's hard to see the tower from the street in the summertime when the leaves are out on the trees, but in the winter, you should be able to see part of it out there behind the casino area. And this is the before picture.
Any comments from the council? Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald D.
Yes.
We'll move down to item number 3, ordinance 920, establishment of the stormwater management fee. Discuss and consider approval on the ordinance 920 and ordinances of the city of Coweta, Oklahoma, amending city code title 10 public services by adding a new chapter 10-4 stormwater management fee, establishing a service fee for the use of the city's stormwater drainage system, prescribing criteria for the calculation of stormwater service fees, providing for collections, adjustments, appeals, providing for serviceability, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is something that was brought up in the budget process, and we're recommending the ordinance be passed to allow for charging a stormwater fee on residential lots as well as commercial properties. Residential lots will be 1 unit per lot. Duplexes will be charged to it. ESUs, which is a acronym used to basically track the amount of stormwater. And then the commercial lots will be based on their square footage, basically. So the funds will be used to do the required reporting that we are necessary to do from EPA standards, and eventually would also help the city do more stormwater improvements on ditches and things like that.
Ultimately, this is a new fee that we discussed during budget planning, but it also is to, for the reporting and the potential updates in stormwater.
Yes.
Joe, is this one you wanted to talk on?
Yes.
Come forward, sir, so everybody can hear you.
Okay, just,
Hold the microphone.
oh, yeah, I guess,
Get painful. Oh, great, it's just you were up here.
okay, and I know because it sounds like a new tax,
It's a new fee.
a new, well,
Tax fee is also.
what's the, deal on our current trash bill, or our trash bill, the solid waste, wasn't that supposed to be the direct stormwater
Those are two separate things.
What does the solid waste do?
I'm not sure what you mean.
The solid waste, it's on our, trash
Oh, the
bill?
solid waste fee, that's
Yeah.
just part of the recycling process. That's for recycling trash.
We pay, I was under the assumption, because I kind of got in trouble with you guys, we didn't pay it, because we thought it meant sewer.
No,
It's like,
that
we're on
is-
septic out where we're at, so we haven't paid a long time, but then I was told that it was for stormwater at some point.
No, that's not correct.
And so I see this, but then recycling, we also have, we don't have a recycling center, but I guess that's a different subject. But stormwater, that, I'm a little curious, I mean, we're kind of taxed a lot already as it is, you know? Our trash fees have went up, well, every utility has went up. And I don't know how this is gonna help. So far, like Mr. Kirk has said, well, he's gone down. You know, we did that 1%, but, you know, for a lot of things, a lot of things are happening, but like the bridge and stuff like that. But these ditches, yeah, the ditches haven't been cleaned out in years. I would hope we can
It's
kind of get
actually-
some cleaned up before we say, hey, we need a tax, because I'd like to see some kind of progress. We've got brand new equipment. We've got a bunch of good people. And personally, I'd rather see something happen before we go trying to tax our community even more, because you say we're already, you know, pretty tight. With the, I know with the fees tag, I'm sorry, so we'll call it a fee. But it just, I don't know, kind of stretch out thin, I'm not sure, don't want to pay anything more. I mean, how much are we talking
It's $1, I think we ended up on $1.50 per residential lot
for, what is it,
per
almost
month.
per month? I mean, where to stop though, that's where I'm at, you know what I mean?
We're one of the few cities that does not charge that right now, and the main reason we implement or want to implement it is to cover the reporting costs that we're required to pay for right now.
Reporting to the,
We have to report to the EPA every year.
that's, you haven't passed that on to the citizens.
Right.
We don't, we're reporting $10,000 a day.
Right, well, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it just seems just another fee,
Well, we have to cover costs somehow, so.
I understand. All right, well, that's decisions on
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for your time.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question on that? So if that is going for the fee,
Do you want to come forward?
I can't, I don't want to.
Okay. And what's your name?
Ashley Lewis. So if that is going to the fee, did I also hear you say it was going to help fix the problems that are already here?
So the initial thought is that we first cover the stormwater reporting costs that we have, but and eventually it will allow us to help with the ditching, which is actually required to be covered by homeowners who are supposed to maintain their own ditches. We are trying to help as much as we can.
It seems really loose to me, I'll be honest, because to me, what I see is we're going to pay that. $1.50 is not that much. I doubt we'll ever see it. I have storage or storm, drainage issues on my property. I've reached out for help more times than I can count. We've never gone anywhere. And now you're asking me to pay, again, $1.50 a month is not that much, but I don't honestly expect to see any help from that.
Okay, that's to cover the reporting initially, like I said.
I just don't want it lumped in that we are helping report and going to help the homeowner if it's not going to help the homeowner. Just call it what it is, that's all we're asking. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Quick question, what are we looking, at square footage, what are we looking at square footage for our business? That's a big concern too.
I don't recall how it's calculated, it's based on your impervious area, whatever your remodel is.
So whether you have gravel or whatever is gonna determine how much. I know the city does not like gravel parking lots. So that, we gotta take that into account. We're trying to encourage businesses to come here. And right now, like I said, with our taxes as it is, that's just one more thing. Say if Chick-fil-A wanted to come to Coweta, they gotta look, at that extent,
If I can add to that, the ordinance, commercial properties, ESU, is the equivalent service unit, is what it means. And for residential single family home, it's $1.50 flat. For commercial properties, and every 2,650 square feet of impervious surface goes into the calculation of what they pay. So depending on how many ESUs, equivalent service units that property has, it'll be based on that.
And if you have a gravel area, there is a reduction for the gravel area that's already been, if it's a gravel area that's already been approved in your business, then that is considered for a reduction.
I know we don't have too many businesses in
Right.
gravel areas, so that's,
But we are considering that.
all right. Well, thank you. I just want to really look out for our businesses because we want to encourage them to come here. Thank you. Thank you for your time, Ken.
Oh, Rob.
I've got a question. So does this money like allocated to just this stormwater runoff, or can it be put into the general budget? So how is that money used, and how are we going to guarantee that it is used for what it is said to be used for, and not like tucked away, kind of like the money for that 121st Street Bridge and sat on it for a while?
It's actually dedicated in a new department called Stormwater Management, and the funds will be tracked in that department.
I know a lot of people, myself included, are never in favor of more fees, but I think we all are well aware of the stormwater runoff issue that we all seem to have in Coweta. For me, we gotta start somewhere to fix that. And I feel like this is a good starting point to fix that runoff issue that, especially this year, we've all seen and had to deal with. So I don't know if it's perfect, but it's a great starting point in my book.
So the end goal is to study to help maybe get some funding from the state or government.
I'm not aware of any grants or anything like that for this type of work. Really, the funding we're asking for now, like I said, is just to pay for the reporting that we're required to do. It requires testing and reporting, and all is up to about $60,000 a year. So this will basically cover that expense. And like I said, we have new equipment that we've ordered. We have Edgar and his crew are out. When we get requests from the public, we try as much as we can to act on those. I can tell you that a couple of council members have requested help, and we've done that. So if you haven't received help, just keep asking, and we will hopefully eventually get to that.
Any other questions?
What are the reporting costs for the EPA?
I can't really answer that off the top of my head, but we have a consultant that we use to help with it. That's an annual report that has to be done and submitted every year. So the consultant helps with that. Edgar helps with the collection and some of the sampling and things like that. So it's a pretty big process that we have to follow every year.
It would, excuse me, it would help us if you would explain that process to some extent so that we'll all know why or where the funds will be allocated.
Edgar, can you come up and explain that for us?
Hello, Mayor, council members. This fee will also cover all testing, which is required by DEQ and EPA. EPA is mandating DEQ to perform a 5-year study. So this will be testing for THMLAs and all that good stuff. So essentially, we'll set up a baseline point. And so based on that, we'll be testing all of our City of Coweta outfalls. And that'll give us a baseline of where's going to be our starting point, where are we getting the most runoff, where are we starting to create a master plan to attack all of our drainage issues. There are key places where we know there's already a large amount of water, and those will be our priorities, and that's where our current baselines are set at. So once we create that 5-year plan, then we'll start from our highest numbers all the way to kind of just work our way to the weakest numbers. So that's where these fees are going in. And to answer the question about fees, roughly they're about $25 a sample, and gosh, we take about 50 samples a month. So do the math. sometimes they do go wrong based on, the way that we take the samples. It might drip a little bit on our hand or something, contaminate the sample, so we gotta resample, so that number varies a lot. So like I said, this is just a baseline for the next 5 years. Questions?
How many people are paying $100 fee a month? How many households?
I believe it'll be,
Bill.
I think we're
It's probably around 3,900 to 4,000.
and just to add on this, all the stormwater, we're the only ones with, no stormwater fee around Green Country. Along with that, everybody's like at $17, $15 a month, so $1 and some change is like, we're not even touching anybody right now.
Is that the future though? Are we headed there? If this
Yeah.
passes, are we moving up to $17 a month?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't see that happening because of our size, and we only have to concentrate on verdigris going into the Arkansas River. But the Arkansas River doesn't have much flow, so I highly doubt it. But, I don't foresee Coweta going into a different catch basin per se. And this is sampling, so this is just pure sampling and that administrative side of it. So it's not telling you anything else other than sampling, administrative fees and all that stuff.
So you're currently doing this process now, but the next step is to add a fee to it to support further development or?
No, this is a EPA mandated study, so it's just gonna give us a baseline. Then this is just gonna give us an understanding of, okay, we got a lot of farmland, a lot of feces unfortunately goes through there. We're getting a lot of contaminants, we got PFAS. So this is just gonna give us a baseline, and based on that, then we can kind of say, well, we're getting contaminants from this side of town and not on this side of town. Well, what's causing that? Well, over here we got a bunch of farmland, and maybe we can start maybe communication of some sort and tell the farmers, hey guys, you care to just clean after your cattle and all that good stuff, and just reduction, that we don't get into more higher numbers, because we do have to submit the numbers to EPA, and that's where we get violations and all that notice of deficiency. So that's just EPA mandated stuff that we just have to report on regardless.
So we're currently have that program in place right now. The additional will enhance it, it will be an improvement.
Yes, it'll be, but that'll be, like I said, this is just for this is just the beginning. Anything that has to do with drainage ditches, that'll go back into a capital improvement fund, which will be aside from stormwater fee. It won't be attached to it by no means. It'll be probably a general capital improvement plan.
I agree. There was mention of equipment that was purchased. Did you have to purchase additional equipment for this?
Yes, we did have to purchase equipment, which comes with drainage buckets. So it'll be easier for us to just go on through ditches and pass them. At the moment, we are limited on equipment, but with the kindness of our council, we kind of got the equipment. So we should be doing better. We were understaffed and just getting to a point to where we can actually, sorry, I'm addressing the audience, but we're eventually getting fully staffed now to where we can actually separate the crews. At a point, it was just 4 people for the whole town, water, sewer, storm. And so it's kind of hard to accommodate everybody's needs when you only have one person that can actually operate equipment. So that's kind of the gap. I wish that sometimes I really greatly appreciate you guys coming out and asking questions, because it's that gap that per se, the questions aren't asked, that's why answers are not given. So when you say, hey, I have a drainage issue, my response will be, allow us to get there. It's just based on emergencies because of lack of staffing and lack of experienced employees. Though everybody's, growing through the days, through the years. At the moment, we got 3 really good operators, and now we're getting the equipment to put those 3 good operators out, separate them. So at the moment, at a few weeks ago, we only had 1 guy, so that's kind of our challenge. Now we're in a better spot.
I agree. You work directly with the consulting company, like you provide them the samples. So just
Yes, ma'am.
understanding the process for everybody here. So we have a consulting company, you work with them to provide the samples. And is it over like a month period, couple month period, or is it like a 12-month period? Like what is that?
Yeah, right now we're on a 12-month period, and it was about 50,000 this initial contract. And so it's not lump sum by no means. It's just on communication. Anything that the EPA asks, they help us prepare all the requested items. And I mean, a lot of times we can do it in-house, and if there's any other agendas that we cannot actually answer ourselves without an engineering firm, that's when they help us, but it's minimal the times that I have to reach out. And at some point, I do think I'll completely take over the whole sampling. I've already overseen it also. I think our guys can handle it.
I have a question on the sampling. So it's sampling that you were doing, is it previous to, like, when you do sampling, we get letters every month saying, hey, your water is evaporated? Is it the same, are you still doing that testing, or is this something totally different with the EPA?
Yeah, that's totally different. This is stormwater that's swept. So this is kind of brand new to Oklahoma. Now it's kind of getting more enforced. So this is totally different. Many municipalities have had this in place as preventive maintenance per se, but this is new and now it's getting pushed harder and harder. So they're here in a few months. I believe they're going to be doing some changes to it. Maybe a little bit more stringent. I'm not too sure yet. Nobody knows what the EPA is up to this day. So hopefully they're more lenient because it's a new program. So hopefully that's the only reason why we're asking for stormwater fee to help us mitigate, because we don't know what they're going to hit us at the end of the day. But they are kind of working with us in a way of, when I say with us, it's Oklahoma as a whole. It's a new program. They're just pushing for it for the sake of PFAS and all that stuff people see on TV. So we've been working along with them to tell them our challenges. Small towns, small budgets, so we cannot obviously charge $15, $17 a month. We're being realistic.
When does this new program go into?
It went into effect last year, but this will be the first year that they've done a revision that has not gone out yet to the public.
Okay.
So we, as well as our consultant, nobody knows, everybody involved with Green Country, has no clue what's in that.
So ultimately, this fee is gonna help us with that reporting, because this is gonna be the first time with the new revisions,
Yes, ma'am.
and to ensure that we're not behind the 10.
Yes, we did submit our very first one a month or so ago. Everything looked good, so we have no issues in stormwater. Now, this coming year is where the new revision come in, and we'll see what changes. May not be many changes, so hopefully we'll be okay.
So if you're saying that you can eventually take it over, is this something that it will come off of our bill after 5 years, per se?
No, I don't think the fee would itself. I just also don't see it to go high, very high, like some of our neighboring towns.
Just as an observation, we don't have all four counselors. Have more, so well,
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Day,
Yes.
Donald Meade,
No.
So we're going to affect August 12th. We'll move down to item number 4, approval of full harmless agreement with Wagner County Rural Water, Sewer, Gas, and Solid Waste Management District Court. Discuss and consider approval on the agreement holding Wagner County Rural Water, Sewage, Sewer, Gas, and Solid Waste Management District number 4, hold harmless from any damages to 257 East Avenue, Midway Road, resulting from leakage, repair, or replacement of district water line located in project area. Thank you, Mary Council.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You basically just said everything I know about it, but this is for the Midway Road project that was just completed. We encountered several water leaks during that project. It turns out Rural 4's water line is very close to the roadway, much closer than they originally thought. And so they are concerned that if they have a water line repair, that they will have to tear up the road and they'll be responsible for repairing it. They've asked that we sign this hold harmless agreement. The intention at some point is to relocate the water line, which would take it out of the, won't be a problem any longer, but for now, they're asking that we sign this agreement to hold harmless. Patrick may be able to add more onto that based on conversations with other
I really don't have much to add other than, after you approve this and execute it, it will go to the rural water district for their signature. And I anticipate it be filed in the county records.
So if their water line leaks under the road, we would be responsible for the repair of the road once they did the
Yes,
water line.
that's the gist of it, yes. And their position is their water line was there before we put the new road in, so.
How long do you think it'll be before they potentially relocate this? You would say?
We did not discuss that. Edgar, did you have any feedback on that line that's being relocated from discussions with them?
No, ma'am, I did not. Just to get in perspective, there's only about a 25, like a little, just a 25 feet stretch of, it runs diagonal. It's kind of weird by the train tracks. And so they didn't guess it right. And so, or mark it right rather. And so when we started doing the right of way acquisition, nobody counted on that. And we actually found it by hitting it. So that's where we're like, well, what happened here? But they do it
It's
in
a relatively small area that we're talking about, and we didn't do it at the time because we didn't have a right of way that was needed to relocate the line. So, it's something we can discuss with them to find out what the schedule is for relocation, but it sounds like it's not as big of a concern. The parts that were leaking during the project are already repaired, so there's no need to replace those.
What about the train tracks and getting access to that property? Will there be any kind of permits or anything that's gonna have to come that we'll have to pay for? Especially if it wasn't very.
They don't charge us for permits, the railroad does not, we just need to give them lots of notice and get the permission beforehand.
And right there in that intersection, we are fortunate enough that they can quickly close the valve, or if there's any issue, they can isolate the problem very easily. So that's the only good thing about that area. And that pipe is, where it leaks at, or was leaking at, is further up by the concrete plant, nowhere near that area. So we haven't had any issues right there.
Further answer your question, I, in conversation with the attorney for the rural water district, they do have a program to be moved, but as in many cases, it's
Do the concrete trucks drive over this? That's my concern. If they're driving repeatedly, like, will it have impact to that?
Is that an area, Edgar, where they,
So if I could describe it per se, this is the edge of our concrete. Their water line is about right here, so it's close enough, but we're just saying because it's in the right of way.
Okay,
So
okay, so it's not physically underneath
It's like-
ours.
it goes right with it. So it's
Okay.
pretty close. That's what we're having the issue at.
Okay, that makes me feel better, because I was thinking it was underneath the road that we just redid, and they're gonna be driving over it, and it's just gonna collapse in like 2 months. So, okay, that makes more sense, that it's next to it, it's in our easement area. Okay, all right, that makes me feel better. Any questions from the council? Make a motion to approve. No, is there a second?
As a second, this item is not approved. Could be a motion to continue to another meeting. At any rate, I will advise the rural water district what the status is.
So now we'll move on to item number 5, public hearing for CZ 26-03, rezone from agricultural AG to commercial general CG for property located at 28349 East 131st Street South. A public hearing to receive public comments on CZ 2603, a request by applicants and property owners Randall and Faye Wiley to change the zoning or describe property from agricultural to commercial general located at 28349 East 131st Street South, Lot 16, Block 3, Skyview Edition, City of Coweta, Wagner County, State of Oklahoma. Jessica? It's not what I'm saying?
I can present now, or like, I'll do all.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so this item is a request to rezone the property from agricultural to general commercial with a companion resolution, which is on the right. To amend the comprehensive future land use map from very low intensity residential to high intensity commercial. In evaluating this request, staff considered the surrounding zoning, existing land uses, the comprehensive plan, and changing development patterns in this area. While the property itself is located behind Highway 51 frontage, it's directly adjacent to a property already commercial operated and along the Highway 51 corridor. Also, this property is located across from the newly developed casino, which is an investment that has accelerated activity in the area. Staff finds that the character of this corridor has evolved since the comprehensive land use map was adopted. The proposed amendment better reflects the current anticipated land use patterns, and requested commercial zoning is compatible with the surrounding development. And for those reasons, staff and planning commission have both recommended approval on both the rezoning request and the amendment to the land use map. Same difference.
And when did the planning commission approve these, just for,
At the last meeting,
so
The June meeting.
okay, the June meeting, just making sure.
This is the property across from the casino. I thought I had seen this being advertised as commercial real estate already.
I'm not sure, I didn't look at the.
I saw that yesterday too. I figure she's just anticipating.
Probably, yeah.
I'm the agent on there. We had a condition on commercial. Just to specify, that's what on there, and I was saying condition.
Okay.
You said it was high intensity commercial.
It will be going from low intensity residential to high intensity commercial, which is general commercial. So,
And in front of that is a storage unit.
yes, it's already commercial operated on 51 frontage and then across the road.
On the other side of that property, though, it's all still saying.
It's still agricultural, yes. We have not had any feedback from the public or any complaints, so.
Any questions? All right, I'll close the public hearing. We'll move down to item number 6, which will be the same thing. Ordinance 919 CZ 2603, rezone from agricultural AG to commercial general CG for property located at 28349 East 131st Street South, discussing for action on the approval with conditions or denial of CZ 26-03, a request by applicants and the property owners Randall and Fayette Wiley to change the zoning on described property from agricultural AG to commercial general CG located in 28349 East 131st Street South, Lot 16, Block 3, Sky View Edition, City of Coweta, Weiner County, State of Oklahoma. Any questions? Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Donald B,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Another one for emergency.
Joe passed the.
Okay, because you're on the board, yes, okay. Moving down to resolution 2026-30, amendment to the future land use map, discussing sir action on the approval or denial of resolution 2026-30, amendment to the future land use map, a request by applicants and property owner Randall and Fayette Wiley to change the use of residential very low to commercial high, located on 28349 East 131st Street South, Lot 16, Block 3, Skyview Edition, City of Coweta, Weiner County, State of Oklahoma.
Since we are changing meetings from our comprehensive land use map that was adopted, we do have to have a resolution to change that.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Donald B,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Right. We'll move down to item number 8, Central Square for Records Management RM System, discuss and consider approval to enter into agreement with Central Square for the records management system.
Mayor and council, I appreciate your time tonight. As we move into the new building here shortly, I would like to go down there with the new records management system. Right now, we have two. We have Interpol, we have Otis. Otis has outlived its purpose, so we'd like to switch over to a brand new system. Now that we've got Wagner County involved in this, that will save us some funds, quite a bit of funds to be active with that. So we will actually, this is an agreement that we're gonna sign with Wagner County. And they will pay for the big portion of it, we'll pay them back as we go along. But it will allow us to have a brand new records management system, which will take some of the pressure off of dispatch and allow the officers to be able to see everything in the car on the computers.
We discussed this during the budget planning session.
Yes, we did, this is budgeted already, I put it into the budget this year, so it was a pretty good machine. Any questions?
Any questions from the council? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Move down to item number 9, purchase of an asphalt recycler reclaimer for the streets department from Asphalt Zipper Inc. for $241,204.60 under the Houston Galveston Area Council HGAC Cooperative Purchasing Contract, PW-10-25. Discussing and consider approval on the purchase of an asphalt recycler reclaimer from Asphalt Zipper Inc. for $241,204.60 under the Houston Galveston Area Council HGAC Cooperative Purchasing Contract number PW-10-25, budgeted in account 12-5404.015 in the capital improvement budget. Edgar?
Hey, Mayor, council members. Once again, this is part of our capital improvement plan for the future. We did budget for this item. This is a zipper, what they call a zipper. What it does is that it takes the current millings along with all the base and mixes it up and then gives us a solid base. So this in turn helps us save on all, bringing in all the material, trucking material in. So it really lays down our whole base. And so this is what this machine itself does. Currently Wagner District 3 has 2 of them. So they are very pleased. We showcased one of them. If you drove through 121st, that's where we did our demo, and it's about a 200 perhaps stretch. If y'all look at that, where it's all kind of dirt, that's what it did. It leveled it out real nice. For it being pretty much a whole year there, and not have moved pretty much at all. That just kind of gives you an example of what it does. And if we were to have put already asphalt on it, it'll be solid for a while. So that's what this is, and so I have good intentions with this machine. Then by us doing it, we'll also save in the future by no bringing contractors, and this can be done in-house. So it'll be done like lane at a time. So like a typical road, I'd say this maybe 3 days, 4 days to do about 100 foot, 200 foot.
Will all the employees be trained to use this?
Yes.
This equipment?
Yes, they'll all be trained. We do have some that are better with the heavy equipment. Like you see on that picture, it's actually the one on the equipment that's gonna be driving it. Like I said earlier, there may be 3. But essentially, as the other fellows get a little bit more seasoned in, it'll help them. We're training them to know how to use that specific equipment. With this price, I'm intent on letting just anybody do it.
Okay.
But there'll be other equipment that are much user-friendly.
Okay. And then you still have like the hot system that you can do the potholes, right?
That's also on the next item.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Great. Any questions? This is exciting.
Yes. I'm ready.
We don't know the people who come do stuff. Awesome. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Agenda item number 10, purchase of a 2025 Weiler P285E paving machine for the streets department from Warren Cat for $252,300 under state contract, or under state of Oklahoma contract SW0195. Discussing and consider approval on the purchase of a 2025 Weiler P285B paving machine for $252,300 under state of Oklahoma contract number SW0195, budgeted in account 12-5404.015 in the capital improvements fund.
Once again, this is kind of where you were asking, Mayor. This is the actual payment machine that'll be following right along it. So once we do the zipper, then we'll come in and do several passes and water down and moisture the base itself, do several patches up until compaction reaches about 95% to 102 compaction. So once we do that, then we'll just put on the paper itself and just go to town with it. We do have, once all these is said and done, we'll have about 200,000, give or take, left over for street improvements. So where we already have a map that was done a couple years ago of kind of like deteriorating roads. So that'll be our starting point. So we already have enough tactic.
Any questions? We talked about this during the budget session. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a question. Just, are we actually gonna have people trained that do compaction better than, rural Wagner County District 3 does? Because, when they do their roads, they just redid, Lone Star Road out right in front of the soccer complex and all that. They did that, 2.5 years ago, and it's already completely trashed.
And I'll be honest, I'm very honest when it comes to street because I do like my stuff to be good. I've encountered a lot of issues when we go to annex that the roads themselves do not have an actual base. So what their base is dirt, flat out. I'll tell you, I would have been the first one to start one. So that's the issue that I ran into. Parts that have already been annexed, whereas now we're saying, hey, bring it up to optimal condition before we take it over. So I do agree with you, sir. If I were to take on the road and once we do the first milling and see no base, we would even high risk base. If there's no base, I'll bring base in because that's where all the faulty roads are. No base, they just throw it down, call it good.
Okay, so, with that, so, I lost my train of thought, but, I just want to make sure so I know that with the county, they have a deal where they lease their equipment from the state and they have to pay by operator hour. This is not a deal like that. This is where the city's actually on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Because Wagner County 3's got themselves in a real pickle where it costs too much to lease the equipment from the state because they don't use it enough. And it's actually cheaper for them to go out and hire a contractor for it.
That is correct. And so we, like every item that we've purchased so far that's come with a decent cost, we literally have it out there every day. I don't want it to just be sitting there, just like anything, if you don't use it, it's just gonna wear out by itself, lube it and all that good stuff. I do intend on using it a lot, up until our budget hits, because there's an amount that I gotta come to the council again and be like, hey, I need more money for more roads. So I do intend on doing the right thing.
This is exciting. This is
Oh,
really
yeah.
exciting.
Just out of curiosity, who does our testing and our pouring currently? Testing and pouring for the asphalt? Currently does it?
This, we haven't done it yet, but we will use, I'm still getting to know contacts around here, to be honest.
Okay.
So I do, like with the local contractors that I already know, I ask who can I go to, so they provide good contacts, but I don't have the answer. Like I said, this is the very first time we'll do it, but
But there are plans to get that.
absolutely, yes, ma'am. We do intend on doing it the right way. But we can hold ourselves accountable, just like everybody else. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Joe, did you have something? Sorry, I just.
I just had a question. It sounds like there's a lot of money and a lot of hydraulics. And I remember years ago, we were talking about remodeling, got rid of the trash trucks and things like that because we couldn't keep them. Lines are dry, right. I'm like wondering, we got all this equipment. Do we have a proper place that houses from our, from our spring cold condition, things like that?
Last year, what we had to do was actually rent out property or some storage units to place all of our items out there. We are already looking into buying our own enclosures to keep them in some. We do have some property where we can actually put buildings and put our equipment there. We are aware that where we currently are located at, we don't have the space, but we do intend on doing it pretty quick because these are really nice equipment. We don't want it to get weathered out.
Well, if you need a place to park that skid steer.
You think about that one.
Yeah, pretty much. motion is, we approved, like,
Daniel Hope,
yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Don B.
Yes.
Alright, down to item number 11, purchase of 2026 Cat 275 compact track loader for the streets department from Warren Cap for $104,404 under state of Oklahoma contract SW0192M. Discuss and consider approval on the purchase of a 2026 Cat 275 compact track loader for $101,404 under state Oklahoma contract number SW0195M, budgeted in account 12-5404.015 in the capital improvements fund.
Mayor, council member, once again, this is for streets as well. This is actually a front end loader skid steer, the one that the gentleman wants me to store his place. The reason why we went with this one is it has more reach. We currently do have one, but it's a smaller unit, and so last year we bought a big dump truck, a tandem axle one. So that loader, when we go to load, it cannot reach. So it's under reached, and so that one can only reach we have a pull behind dump trailer. They'll only reach that, but it's a small unit, so we cannot be very efficient. So we have faced challenges where we cannot be very proactive per se, because we cannot load enough onto our current dump truck. So sometimes, like currently, we're working on a big sewer line, so all we can do is use the little skid steer, but since it cannot reach into the dump truck, we have to put it into somebody else's gravel, road or side road, wherever it needs to go. But had we had one of this, it goes straight from the ditch onto the truck and out it goes. So this is essentially what we want to do is get this to be more efficient. The one that we currently have will end up going to the wastewater plant. We do have dry sand pads down there. They don't need a very new one, so we'll kind of pass it down so that they can have one to whenever we do get old sludge, they'll be able to just take it out and sit it up. We do, the sludge won't age very quickly right now because it's not even, that plant's still not live, so once it does go, it's gonna go back there. So that's the intention for it.
Any questions? Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Daniel Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Don B.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
We'll go down to item number 10, executive session. Consider a motion and vote to enter executive session to discuss the employment contract of the city manager, Julie Castine, and take appropriate action in open session as allowed for under 25-0.s 307E1. Make a motion to enter executive session.
Second.
Daniel Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Don B.
Yes.
Do the right thing, we'll be back here again, Cassidy.
Well, because the city didn't trust the council.
She knows how to hike back there, so might as well keep her hiking back here.
Hey, we got a signature to 5,000 Rogers County. The last time we did it, we had 6,700 signatures. They lost the grand jury because of the language. We have all other states.
But no, the little covers that go.
Yeah,
So we have weeds and grass and everything as well, and then rainwater.
You just.
Yeah, and so it's like.
Yeah. They are, if you, right now,
Well, see, what happened is our driveway was like this, and then they added, they took our garage out and added a house or a roof. Moved our garage over, and now our property, our driveway goes like this. Our water line is right there, right? Yeah, you know, it's that. Well, there's no I got one. He said he'll come out tomorrow. And put it on.
I haven't seen the game broken. Well, 6, 7 years ago.
Well, now, just right on.
yeah, they do that. You can say whenever the water just sits there, it also.
I do have a question for you. They used to have really good flow, now more out pressure. So when you have the meters, gauge on my record, I got 65 to 80 They came out, changed the meter, put the water meter. Now you have our washing machine going, the shower shuts off. So it's restricting the flow. Yeah, maybe on the house.
What's your name? Oh, Tom. I really like the fact that I like praying now. I don't get enough questions.
They don't ask questions, a lot of speculation.
Let me, we just got new batches of meters. I was told, the meters, they're pretty, they couldn't tell me the exact height for the model. They said that the components weren't very good. So we got a new batch of them just Thursday. So the guy came and saw me Friday and said, okay, you can see the new batch. He said, it should be better.
Yeah, so if you have the shower on, so yeah. My buddy's a plumber, so he's been out, everything's put inside, nothing is slick. But if you have the shower on, you go to the toilet.
I wonder if there's just a disconnection. The pressure seems to be good.
Yeah, it's just a flow issue. Yeah. And the only thing that I can track it down is it's been changed, so our meter got changed out.
How many days was the last time?
Like 6 years ago, we went out, we called.
Hey, let's check the water pressure. We have somebody out there. No, you didn't.
I think that goes back to that very first batch that they called it the components.
Yes, we had a people with
yeah, I'll do these three.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
I know they just replaced everything. The board that used to be back here is gone, and then they put this thing on. What we should do is gotta have a starting She works for the council. This is what they're doing. This is what you build. We advertise every year money for the state.
Which my background is. Because it's wanting to bring it
Give us the.
Oh, they passed that. Groundwater. Well, there's a difference between groundwater and surface water. So make sure you get about groundwater, surface water, about whether.
I know. He kind of gets. $44
Just Chief Bell, can you make sure nobody's in the hallway? Please, if they wanna come in and take. I make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Andy Hope,
Yes.
Caleb Bay,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
So we do have a couple items, so Mr. Rothrock would like to come and speak on the city manager. Please, we will set the timer for 3 minutes, please be respectful. Please be respectful.
Okay, so, I don't know what y'all talked about back there, but, it is clear that this is not a good employment situation for our town. Our town's in a really bad predicament right now. I'm looking up here and we barely have a quorum sitting up here. And it's really not a good look. So there's a couple of different things that have caused that. It's caused by the reputation that the city has gotten over the last several months as a result of Miss Christine's actions and the way she has led the city. And I think it's very reflective on that. And it's gonna be really hard to attract new people to come up here and sit in these seats because nobody wants to be part of the poop show. They just don't. And that's what it's turned into. And it's a three-ring circus. Everybody sees it. But I would propose for you guys to consider something that would possibly help you with this situation. One would be to terminate Ms. Castane's employment. And two would be adding 2 more seats to this council so that in the event of something like this, you're not in this big of a predicament right now. And then I would strongly, strongly urge you not to appoint the next city council person. It needs to go to a vote of the people. However that happens, whatever the legalities are behind that, that is what is going to help build faith and respect with this body back with the community. That's all I have.
Mr. Prather, did you want to speak on this item?
I spoke with a former city council member previously. I'm sorry, Josh, I'm going to throw you under the bus, but the gentleman mentioned that up until the data center fiasco came along, this room was pretty much empty while city council meetings were taking place. Then I want to point out that any business typically does not hear from a customer when things are going well. Now, let's look at all these people, okay? It wouldn't take a whole lot more to be standing room only. This is evidence. All these people are here because Julie Castine has been doing an awful job and is toxic to the city of Coweta. By extension, Mayor, I'm sorry, but you preside over the worst administration this town has ever had, and my family's been here for 6 generations, and holy smokes, y'all are a clown show. For the crying out loud, you're talking about maybe spending more bucks on a public relations outfit when all you have to do is the right thing. Fire her already. I've tossed more than a few hand grenades around the corner. I'm hard of hearing now, a loud voice as a result of that. If you have problems with that, check your constitution.
Just be respectful, that's all I'm asking.
I'm respectfully saying fire her already, for crying out loud. It is, how much evidence do you need to have? You have a whole room full of evidence here of people that showed up because they're not happy with how things are going. Businesses don't hear from happy customers. They just keep driving down the road, being happy. We're not happy. We want our city manager fired. I thank you for not interrupting me. I've got a clock right here in front of me. And by the way, while we're talking about such things, if you really want to clean up City Hall, for crying out loud, get rid of a sleazy lawyer that doesn't even know Robert's rules. Hey, you know where I stand. You ought to know where we all stand. You've had a room full of people standing like this for a long time. Dadgummit, just do the right thing already.
Looks like Ron Durbin is about to speak.
Okay. I don't know if I go as well as you, sir, but I'll try. So trust is an important thing, and when we look at any government that we're dealing with, and the people have to put their trust in others to come to their governments, to come to their cities, and to represent their interests in what is going on in those communities. Unfortunately, we all get sidetracked by our daily lives, and we forget to show up, we forget to pay attention when things are going well. And so unfortunately, I think you guys are experiencing some of what happens when things go badly. And really what you're experiencing in this particular situation is a complete and total lack of trust that has been created. And in this particular city, we deal with a city manager form of government. And that city manager wields a whole lot of your power. They're the vestibule. They're the cup that holds the power that you have been given by the people. And you've delegated that power to somebody in this particular situation who is devoid of any trust in the city leaders and in the city members that are electing you to these positions. That trust has been burned to the ground.
Amen.
And it's not something that can be gotten back without drastic action. So the question here today is not whether or not we can trust Julie Chastain. That question has already been answered time and time again. When I asked questions about why things were done the way that they were done and whether they were doing the same way, we got the answer that yes, I would. And yes, I felt I had the power. And yes, I felt I had the ability to do all of these things without the participation of the elected official that were elected to represent all of these fine folks in this room and the people who can't be here tonight. They put their trust in a city council. The city council then in turn placed their trust into one person who failed them. They failed them on the most basic concept of just being open and transparent with you. Not just the citizens that are sitting in the back of the room. There wasn't transparency with you all. The question is, why did you do this without asking for the city council? I didn't need their authority. I didn't need their approval. That kind of position is just doubling down on dumb. And that's what we have here today. So when we look back at what's going to happen here today, there's going to be a judgment at the end of all of this on trust. And it's not going to be whether or not we can trust Julie Chastain. It's going to be whether or not we can trust Daniel and Donald. Because ultimately, you gentlemen are the decision makers on this issue. And frankly, I would have trusted it a whole lot more had these conversations occurred before you went and talked behind closed doors about these issues. I don't really know what good it does talking about things after decisions are already made behind closed doors. But I hope that we can trust that you'll make the right decision, show the community that it's time to move on and do the right thing. The trust has been lost. You gentlemen possess the ability to return some of that to the citizens of Coweta here tonight, and I hope that you do. Thank you.
Any questions from the council? I make a motion to amend the city manager employment agreement to provide for it to expire on October 16th, 2026, with a reduced severance to only include payment of amounts equivalent to the employment or equivalent of COBRA health insurance for 17 months effective October 16th.
Second.
It's far in excess of what the contract says.
Naomi Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned.
That's a step in the right direction. Thank you.
We do have two other meetings, if you'd like to stay, or you can exit now.
We're gonna talk, go outside, please.
No, chief, we're not gonna do that, sir.
Amen. Hold on. Notice they don't complain about that with me.
Hey, hey.
And I would like to really understand what you're saying. Something to think about.
Call to order, the Coweta Public Works Authority. Roll call.
Naomi Hope,
Here.
Daniel Beatty,
Here.
Donald B.
Here.
We'll move down to item number 3, consent items. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Naomi Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
We have no items to be removed from consent. We'll move down to item number 5, administration. Item number 1, selection of vice chairman. Discuss and consider action on the selection of vice chairman for the Coweta Public Works Authority. Make a motion to appoint or select Daniel Beatty to vice chairman.
Second.
Naomi Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Move down to item number 2, bid award filter media replacement project with the Coweta Water Treatment Plant to IMC Consulting LLC in the amount of $307,000. Discuss consider action to award a bid to IMC Consulting, the lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $370,000 for the filter media replacement project at the Coweta Water Treatment Plant, budgeted in the Coweta Public Works Authority Utility Fund, account 04-5404-0.003, and direction to the trust manager to execute all necessary documents related to the project.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This bid is to replace the filter media at the water treatment plant. The media has not been replaced since the plant went into operation in September of 2014. It's recommended to be replaced at least every 5 years. So it's way behind schedule. We put it out for bids in June, and opened the bids on July 2nd. The lowest bidder was IMC Consulting for $307,000. We will need a separate budget amendment to be voted on here shortly. We recommend to go to IMC.
And we talked about this when we did the plant tour, just for the few citizens that are still here. We did take a plant tour of our treatment plant, and this was an item we did discuss in the budget, and it being needed, and we'll have to do this again, what, in 2 years or a year? 5 years, just 5 years, okay. All right. Any questions from the council?
What's a timeframe on getting it completed?
I believe it was 4 months, do you recall?
Yes, it'll be pending on some parts, but it'll be 3 or 4 months, and it'll be done in the night hours where it'll avoid interruption. We do water, we finish water in the daylight, so we'll do all the work at that nighttime.
And this should help also improve the water as well.
Yes, ma'am, we'll reduce the amount of algae and all the stuff we gotta deal with, so.
Less chemicals.
Absolutely.
All right. Any questions? I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Naomi Hope,
Yes.
Ben Wade,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
We'll move down to item number 3, resolution 2026-29 regarding budget amendments. Discuss and consider approval on resolution 2026-33, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Coweta Public Works Authority, Coweta, Oklahoma, adopting amendments to the annual appropriations for the budget of the Coweta Public Works Authority for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027, appropriating $370,000 in the amount of in account 04-5404.033 of the Utility Services Fund for unencumbered fund balance for the rehabilitation of the filter media in the Coweta Water Treatment Plant.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. As I stated before, this item was not considered in the budget because we didn't know what the amount was. So we're now asking for a budget amendment to fund the project.
Any questions from the council?
No.
Okay. Motion to approve?
Second.
Naomi Hope,
Yes.
Ben Wade,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
We'll move down to item number 4, approval of change order number 2, wastewater improvement project in the amount of $357,000, $60.02, funded in the sewage improvement fund, account 35-5411.034. Discuss and consider approval of a change order number 2 in favor of Darius Contractors LLC related to the water treatment plant for improvements project, increasing the cost of the contract from $60,290,900 to $16,647,960.02. Man, an increase of $350,060.02.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. As you may be aware, the wastewater treatment improvement project was initiated in 2019. That was due to ongoing permit violations that we received from DEQ. And that ultimately led to a consent order being issued in December of 23. We had already taken out 2 loans to fund the project through OWRB totaling $15,973. We had several years of delays. We finally had the project put out for bid in March of 24, and that contract was awarded in April of 24. At the time that the project was designed, I don't think there was the amount of sludge in the system at that point. So now that we're nearing the end of it, DEQ is telling us that we need to clean out those 2 basins So to make that change, the contractor, we received quotes for that, and we vetted that as a change order for $357,000, and that will be the budget amendment on the next action item. Any questions?
We need to approve the change order and then approve the amendments. Okay, make a motion to approve?
Second.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Bacon,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-33 regarding budget amendments, discuss and consider approval of resolution 2026-33, a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Coweta Public Works Authority, Coweta, Oklahoma, adopting amendments to the annual appropriations for the budget of the Coweta Public Works Authority for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027, appropriating $375,000 in account 04-5535.037 of the Public Works Authority Utility Services Fund from unencumbered fund balance to transfer to the Sewer Improvements Fund, revenue account 35-04.03.37 to fund sludge removal of the Coweta wastewater treatment plant, account 35-5411.034.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. We just discussed this item. I'm asking for an additional $19,000 or so in case there are any other minor adjustments needed. Any funding that's not used will be transferred back to the utility fund upon completion of the project.
Any questions from the council? I make a motion to approve?
Second.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Bacon,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Item number 6, award and assignment of additional bid contracts for audio visual system, low voltage systems, and security systems for the fire station number 1 and the police station to Flintco LLC, included in the guaranteed maximum price of $17,122,334 to be paid from the 1% sales tax fund. Discuss and consider action related to the assignment of additional bid contracts for the construction of the fire station number 1 and the police station to Flintco LLC, included in the guaranteed maximum price of $17,122,334 to be paid from the 1% sales tax fund, and direction to the trust manager to execute all necessary documents related to thereto.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This is in relation to several items that were not bid in the, or bids were not received in the original bids for the fire and police station. It's a very large, complex project, and at the time the initial award was made, they did not receive bids, or either that or we did not have enough information to bid some of the minor systems. So I believe these are the last 3 things that are outstanding, which includes the audiovisual, low voltage, and security systems. Those were put out for bids, and Flintco did receive bids, and they opened them a couple of weeks ago. I don't recall the date offhand now. But this is to award those and finalize the project amount. And there is no change to the maximum guaranteed price. That does include contingencies and allowances. Anything that's not spent basically comes back to the city, but it's not kept back from the coast.
So go back into the 1% sales tax fund. Okay. All right. Any questions from the council regarding this? I make a motion to approve?
Second.
Amy Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Bacon,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
We'll move down to item number 7, purchase of a 2026 CAT 306 CR mini hydraulic excavator for the water department from Warren Cat for $89,876 under State of Oklahoma contract SW0192. Discuss and consider approval of the purchase of the 2026 CAT 306 CR mini hydraulic excavator for $89,876 under State of Oklahoma contract SW0192, budgeted for account 04-5404.0033 in Public Works Utility Fund. A lot of numbers there.
Mayor, council, I'm up here again. This is probably one of the important purchases that we have for capital improvement. This is a mini X. It has a longer reach. We do have one right now, but currently we're working on the sewer line right now, and its reach is only 8 foot, so we kind of had to over excavate and do a lot of ramps just to reach. This main is 12 foot, give or take 13 once we do the sub base down there, but it's 13 foot and we cannot reach it, so we're having to create ramps going to it and bring it back out. And so there's a lot of moving parts, whereas if we were to have this will give us a whole lot more reach. And so I think it extends pretty good, about 16 foot maybe, 14. So it'll minimize the amount of work and all the sloping we have to do. And so this will definitely help us, not just with this, but drainage itself. There's a lot of drainage that we have had to contract it out because of limitations on our current equipment. So we did contract for storm issues last year several times to remove limbs and stuff out of creeks. So we're anticipating this to put to good use.
And we have a truck and trailer that'll be able to manage, like, I know Joe was, I know you're watching this item.
I have a question too afterwards.
Yes, we do have a dump truck and we do have an outlet.
Okay, so we'll be able to haul this and
Yes.
have an operator that is educated and operate.
Yeah, we do have a truck driver and the operators, they all have CDOs.
Question, do we send our employees to like heavy operator like schooling? or-
Right now, we are exploring the possibility of sending some more to have, but the ones that are here are kind of based on experience. So,
On the job experience?
yeah. No, they actually, some
Okay.
with previous experience, so we kind of have some that are pretty good right now.
Joe, what was your, I know we were not supposed to be taking stuff from, but what do you got? What you-
Being that we can dig deeper for safety reasons, do we have proper shoring?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We're going on a 2-to-1 with trench boxes.
awesome. That's what I worried about. It's like, man, I read that every now and then.
Yeah, no, nobody's going in that hole. We don't have a 2-to-1.
Awesome, so we're good to hear. That's all I'm asking.
Joe was on council when we were ordering the first round of nice equipment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we did purchase.
It was good.
Yeah, we purchased a brand new one just last year, aluminum, so it's a buildable box, so you can modify it depending on your holes.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Any questions from my council? Okay, I have lots of questions on where we're gonna store this, and I'm guessing it'll probably be coming in the near future.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
I know we haven't had these discussions. I suspect. All right, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 8, trust manager employment agreement, discuss consider action to approve the amended and restated trust manager employment agreement. Do I have to read this all over again? Okay. All right. Okay. Make a motion to amend this in consistency with the council meeting agreement.
Second.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned. Hang out, we got one more. We have a very small number of people here now. There is more than one meeting.
I heard there's free donuts and coffee, I haven't seen that.
Where at?
Must be outside, they all left there first. All right. Call the board of the Coweta Industrial Development Authority. Roll call.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Here.
Donald B.
Here.
Item number 3, consent items. We're gonna make a motion to approve.
Second.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
We have no items to be removed or action to be taken, so we move on to item number 5, administration. Selection of secretary, discussing consider action on the selection of the secretary for the Coweta Industrial Development Authority. Make a motion to appoint or consider selecting Dan Lee for secretary for the Coweta Industrial Development Authority.
Second.
You want me to say it one more time? Make a motion to select, for secretary for the Coweta Industrial.
Was there a second?
Yes. Second.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
And we'll move down to item number 2, trust manager employment agreement, discuss and consider action on to approve the amended and restated trust manager employment agreement. We make a motion to align with the 2 previous city council statements there.
Second.
Annie Hope,
Yes.
Daniel Beatty,
Yes.
Donald B.
Yes.
Item number 6, we have nothing else. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for hanging out with us this late. I don't know what time it is. It's late. I know that. Good night. Be safe.
Thanks.
Oh, raises